Human, I wish you were my husband. The alien queen shocked all in the hall. The great crystal hall fell silent as Queen Zara stepped forward. Her blue skin shimmered under the bright lights and her 4 arms moved with grace that made every human diplomat hold their breath. She was tall like a tree, and her silver eyes looked directly at Commander Jake Miller, who stood frozen in the center of the room. Jake had come to planet Zarian with his team to make peace between humans and the Zephyrian Empire. Nobody expected the Queen herself to meet them. The other aliens in the hall wore fancy robes and had serious faces, but Queen Zara looked different. She seemed curious about the humans, especially Jake. The Queen walked closer. Her long white hair flowed behind her like water. Captain Lisa Brown and Dr. Amy Wells stepped back, but Jake stayed where he was. His heart beat fast, but he kept his face calm. He had trained for this moment for years. Queen Zara stopped just 3 feet away from Jake. She was so tall that Jake had to look up to meet her eyes. The room was so quiet they could hear the wind outside the palace walls. Even the other Zephyrian nobles seemed surprised by their queen's behavior. "You are the human leader." "Queen," Zara said in perfect English. Her voice was soft like music but strong like thunder. "I have studied your people for many cycles. Your courage in the void of space amazes us." Jake nodded slowly. "Your Majesty, we come in peace. We hope to build friendship between our worlds." The Queen smiled and it lit up her whole face. "Friendship, yes, but I wonder about something more." She looked around the hall at all the watching faces, both human and alien. "Your people fight against impossible odds and never give up. You travel between stars in metal ships and dream of touching every world in the galaxy." Jake felt confused but tried to stay professional. "We do our best, Your Majesty. We believe in exploring and learning." Queen Zara raised one of her 4 hands. The hall became even quieter, if that was possible. "Commander Jake Miller, I have watched recordings of human battles. I have seen how you protect the weak and fight for what is right. When the Vortex pirates attacked your colony ships, you flew straight into their fleet with just 12 fighters. Jake remembered that battle. It was 3 years ago and he almost died, but they saved 2,000 colonists. We do what we must, Your Majesty." "What you must," the Queen repeated slowly. Such simple words, but they show why humans are special. She moved closer until Jake could smell her perfume, which reminded him of flowers from Earth. "My people are strong and we live long lives, but we have become careful. We avoid risks and plan everything." The Queen's silver eyes seemed to glow brighter. "But humans rush toward danger to help others. You build homes on deadly worlds and call them beautiful. You see a challenge and say yes instead of no." Commander Lisa Brown stepped forward. "Your Majesty, we appreciate your words, but perhaps we should discuss the trade agreement." Queen Zara turned to look at Lisa, but then her eyes went back to Jake. "There will be time for trade, Captain. But first I must say something that my advisors will think is crazy." She took a deep breath. "Commander Miller, your people fascinate me, but you fascinate me most of all." Jake felt his cheeks get warm. He had never expected this. "Your Majesty, Wait, let me finish," Queen Zara said gently. "I have ruled my people for 50 Earth years. I have never taken a mate because no one has impressed me. But watching you humans, especially you, has changed something in my heart." The alien nobles behind her began whispering in their strange language. Some sounded angry, others sounded shocked. Dr. Amy Wells grabbed Captain Brown's arm and they exchanged worried looks. Queen Zara ignored them all. She looked only at Jake. "Human, I wish you were my husband." The words hit the hall like lightning. Every person, both human and alien, stared in complete silence. Jake felt like the ground had moved under his feet. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. "Your Majesty," Lisa Brown said quickly, "perhaps we should." "No," Queen Zara said firmly but kindly. "I have thought about this for many days. Since I learned humans would come here, I have wondered if one of them might be the partner I have waited for all my life." She looked at Jake again. "You lead your people with wisdom, but also with heart. You take risks for others, and you never give up. When your ship was damaged in the asteroid field, you stayed behind to fix it while your crew escaped to safety. Jake found his voice. How do you know about that? I know many things about you, Jake Miller. Know you grew up on a farm. I know you joined the Space Navy to explore new worlds. I know you have never married because you said your duty comes first. The Queen stepped even closer. But what if your duty and your heart could become the same thing? What if by joining with me you could bring our two peoples together not just as allies but as family? Jake felt dizzy. This was not what he had trained for. He looked at his team. Lisa looked worried. Amy looked fascinated. The alien nobles looked like they wanted to run away. Your Majesty, Jake said slowly. This is very unexpected. I am honored, but you think I am moving too fast, Queen Zara said with a small smile. Perhaps I am, but humans have taught me that sometimes you must be bold. My people would study this decision for years and maybe never act, but you would jump into the unknown and trust your instincts. She held out one of her 4 hands to Jake. I am not asking you to answer now. I am asking you to consider it. Think about what we could build together. A bridge between species, a love that crosses the stars. Jake stared at her hand. It was beautiful, with long fingers and skin that seemed to glow. He could feel everyone watching him. The moment felt huge, like it would change everything. Slowly, Jake reached out and took the Queen's hand. It was warm and soft. Her silver eyes seemed to smile. I will think about it. Your Majesty, Jake said, this is the most important decision anyone has ever asked me to make. Queen. Zara squeezed his hand gently. That is all I ask. Take time, Commander Miller, but remember that the greatest adventures begin with one brave step into the unknown. The hall erupted in whispers and gasps from both sides. Jake held the alien Queen's hand and wondered if he was about to start the greatest adventure of his life.